I'm really honored, man. We got this guest on tonight. It's really going to be a great show, man. I've been excited to talk to
A
this
real
brother
celebrity,
here,
for real.
fellow biker. Yeah, yeah, big time. Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah, I mean, I've gotten calls from Mike's Prolids. I'm really honored, man. We got this guest on tonight. Yeah, yeah, big time. Oh, absolutely.
Send me to my grave.
Relationship, since neither of us ever really agreed
Yes,
on
yes, yes.
but I love her though, and I think she
I
loves
gotta
me.
speak me.
Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Gymkhana Josh, and welcome to Beyond the Apex, where we talk about motorcycle everything and then some. Before we get started with our actual show tonight, I want to actually give some shout outs to Fernando Flores, Nappy Woods, and Civilized Savage for subscribing to the channel right before we came on tonight. I really appreciate that. Across from me, you'll notice a friendly, familiar face, my co host Butter. Butter, what's up with you, man?
What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's good. I know last week we had a little dedication to the show last week. Jay, she passed away yesterday. So I want to thank everybody for their prayers and thoughts and stuff like that. So I know last week I dedicated the show to her, but she did pass away. So I want to thank everybody for all their shout outs. But moving forward with the show, I'm really honored, man. We got this guest on tonight. It's really going to be a great show, man. I've been excited to talk to
A
this
real
brother
celebrity,
here,
for real.
fellow biker. Yeah, yeah, big time. Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah, I mean, I've gotten calls from Mike's Prolids, Black City Riders. I mean, people just hitting me up like, "Oh, I can't believe you having Sos the Ghost on." I'm like, "Yeah." My brother Dave from FLNY is like a huge fan, and I'm excited to have this brother on the show. It's been a couple of weeks in the making. He's had some tough times. I know he had a loss recently, but finally we got the show going. So without further ado, man, I got the professor, Biker 101, the man himself. Sos the Ghost, Demons Road TV. Yo, it's an honor to have you on the show, bro. I
Definitely,
know you
definitely.
ghosting everybody. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah, thanks for being here, dude. So, episode 22, our guest, as Butter was saying, he streams the holy grail of motorcycle culture on YouTube. The channel is Demons Road TV. You can check out Demons Road Clothing on Teespring. Hit him up on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everything social media related. You can get to Sos and Sos the Ghost. Like Butter
Yeah,
said, welcome
hit
to
me
the
on,
show.
hit me on Demons Road Parlor because they've been banning my boots off out this motherfucker. Like they really been like, I don't know what it is lately. They've been really trying to censor me. So follow me on Parlor. I hooked up Rumble. I'm trying to switch up a little bit because like everybody's stuck on like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and there's other outlets that's not charging you to use your own followers. Like Instagram wants you to pay to Instagram for all your followers to see you. Like I'm not
Mm.
doing that. You know what I'm
I think the real
saying?
reason they've been banning you is because you've been talking about that real stuff. You've been talking politics. You've been talking social, social things that people don't want you talking about. That's probably why they've been actually banning you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a fact. That's what it
So
is.
I want to get things
Yeah.
started. I know a lot of the viewers at home have probably checked out your page already. They probably know a little bit about you, a little bit about your background from checking you out. But for those few that are at home that haven't seen Demons Road TV or followed you on social media, just give them an idea of kind of like how you came about and what your channel's about.
Well, basically, Demons Row, as you see, is the holy grail of MC culture. We talk about everything motorcycle club involved. I'm a one percenter. I'm in Riders MC 1%. I've been riding for many years. You know what I'm saying? Earned that diamond. So I talk about diamond life and just my experiences from back in the days from gang banging leading all the way into MC culture. I feel that MC culture is the way to go to keep you from prison and all the crazy shit that be going on. As much as they want to talk in the media about how bad clubs are, it's bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Actually, that's one episode I really, really enjoyed that you talked about. Well, you didn't talk about that the entire episode, but you mentioned how, you know, if you're talking to young brothers on the street, you would highly recommend them choose the motorcycle life over the gang life, and how they're kind of related, but how the motorcycle life's like the grown man's version. I like that. That was a good way of putting things.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? When you younger, you gang bang, you get your feet wet. And then when you get older, you step your shit up. You know what I'm saying? That's what I feel. You know, no disrespect to anybody that gang bang, because there's people that's older that gang bang, but it's just this is where the loyalty is, where the brotherhood is. Like, it's the reason why we got into gangs. You could get that here without the high stakes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true. Actually, I think honestly, like the motorcycle. Well, I'd say, all right. So your channel too, just in general for people like me. I'm not affiliated with any particular motorcycle club, but it's kind of mesmerizing to hear you talk about that life and talk about the brotherhood and talk about, you know, all the benefits that go along with it. I can't help but kind of like get lost in the stuff that you're talking about. I really appreciate the fact that there's somebody like you out there that will bring these things to light and talk about them for the peasants like me, because normally people like me, they wouldn't know who to ask or who to talk to, or how to go about doing it. So I gotta tell you, I especially appreciate that. I know a lot of people at home probably do too.
And that's why I do it, because you know what I'm saying? Like growing up, I never really had true OGs to put me on, you know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of people get led astray. And people are gatekeepers too, you know what I'm saying? I'm the type of person like I wanna I want people to learn from my experiences and not have to go through what I went through, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm big on that.
How'd you get started specifically doing the live streams? Like what brought you to YouTube and like doing it live?
I just got tired of the content. Like when I looked up anything MC related, it was just like Gangland, History Channel, you know what I'm saying? Making it look spooky. I know a lot of ones like that shit because they want people to be scared and all that shit. But I'm big on just keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? Real life. You know what I mean? And you know, it get real. Shit happens. You know what I'm saying? But the way they make it look in the media, like it's the mafia, is kind of an exaggeration. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. I'd say from an outside perspective though too, as you kind of mentioned right there, motorcycle culture. I mean, in general, to somebody that doesn't ride, you know, it's kind of taboo. It's kind of mysterious. Then you add another layer on top of that, and you start talking motorcycle clubs, and there's a whole nother layer of mystery and taboo. And then you start talking about 1% clubs, and it's like, you know, your everyday Joe just has no clue. They just whatever they see on TV, that's what they got to go off of. That's it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, growing up, I didn't see it like. I mean, y'all from the Bronx too, right? Y'all, where y'all from?
I'm
I'm
from
from
Brooklyn.
Virginia.
BK, all right. You
Yes,
from
sir.
Virginia? Oh, okay. I thought because I know I got people from Hustle Kings that's in the Bronx, so that's
Yeah,
why I
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
right, all
We
right.
got a chapter in the
Yeah,
Bronx.
yeah. Growing up in the Bronx, I didn't see like chain people talked about it, but I didn't see like bikers growing up. You know what I mean? It was different when I grew up. It was more like street crews. Then it turned into the like the Four Nation shit, Latin King, Zulu, all that. You know the La Familia, Nieta, all that shit back in the days. Like I didn't see MCs back in the days. You know what I'm saying? So I got into it older because of my cousin Sonny and shit.
So I know, like I said, we talk. Well, you mentioned it. Your channel is focusing on motorcycle culture, but like, how do you come up with the topics that you talk about? Is it just like whatever the flavor of the day is, whatever you feel like talking about, or you got?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I just talk about whatever comes to mind. I try to I try to talk about stuff that people ask about, but I've covered so many topics that when I tell people like, yo, which one to talk about, they don't really, you know what I mean? They're just like, yo, we waiting for the next one, you know? So I
What
just
do
come up
people
with
What do people comment to you and ask you about that just really pisses you off? I'm sure there's got to be something out there.
um people ask me that piss me off. I don't know, bro. I got thick skin, bro. Like, what? You know what pisses me off? I'll be honest with you. It's nothing MC pisses me off. It's the fact that like I believe in what Trump stands for. That's the shit that make me clash with people. Cause like they you automatically, you from New York, you supposed to be on this side, on the Democrat side, like you know what I mean? So that's the only thing I really clash about, you know what I mean, is the Trump shit. People get on me hard about the Trump shit.
I mean, I get it. Listen, I know. But listen, I believe that politics, everybody's, it's like religion, man. You're entitled to believe what you want. Same thing with the motorcycle culture. Fortunate for me, I know I don't know. I'm pretty sure you do your homework when you deal with people, but I was born in a 1% house. I was born in the 70s, 69ers when they were at Sunset Park. Old Grandpa Nelson was president and stuff like that. And my father's a dirty one, you know what I mean? All my uncles were dirty ones at the time. They all branched out to their own 1% clubs. So I was born and raised in this culture. So even though I'm not in a 1% club for reasons I'd rather not discuss, it's not that I can't be. I could if I want to. But the culture, I grew up watching that. I grew up watching 20, 30 guys that weren't related make a family. And till this day, that bond is still strong. Now, I'm 44 years old, and the same guys I grew up watching, I go back, Chingalings, 69ers, Dirty Ones, Turban Saints, Assassinators, you name it, Savage Skulls, whatever. I go back to that, and I seen at that time, even though it was segregated, it was way different. It was a lot of territorial beef. No matter what club, I surrounded myself by, or just living in the area. Like I grew up in a Turban Saint block. My father was a dirty one, and my uncle was a 69er. My other uncle was an unknown biker. But even though it was segregated, what I noticed that no matter where,
Did they clash?
Oh, back
Did
in
they
the
have
70s. Yeah, back in the 70s, everybody had problems. Like
so
my dad could.
your dad was clashing with your uncle and all that? Like they was
Well,
on separate sides?
so this was before my mom's met my dad. There used to be a beef between the Dirty Ones and the Turban Saints because I lived in a Turban Saint block. So this was Turban Saint block. Now, so my dad couldn't walk through that area so easily. He had to go take the long way around because when you by yourself, you can't walk through the hood like that.
Yeah.
Hearing those stories, because the funny thing is that as much as they had beef back in the days, now they all hang out together. Like everybody's cool, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
watching it come from one end of the spectrum to now, it's kind of dope because I sit down sometimes in the summertime and I got 7, 8 OGs from different clubs that just talk about all the funny shit that happened back in the 70s. And it's great to know that they can sit back and laugh about it and have a BA, whatever. But for me, that commodity, no matter what club I was privy to as a kid, I always saw that. Like I always saw when one brother got in trouble, everybody was there to help him out, making sure they was good because a lot of these dudes came from broken homes. They came from homes where they didn't have a mother father figure. They were poor. They didn't have nothing. They had each other. And growing up, I seen a lot of that. That's why when I see like the way the 1%ers move, it's real shit, man. Like that's real family shit. Cause I know brothers. I got a brother up north doing life, and we talk, and he'd be like, "Yeah, I was locked up with this dude from this club, and I know those clubs for sure sending that brother his money. You know what I'm saying? Like he down for the club. He's always going to be a club for life. And I know for a fact because I know treasurers, I know presidents, and they be like, yeah, man, we send homeboy his check every month, making sure he good. A lot of dudes, and you know this for a fact, so I know we growing up in a different, with the other clubs. Back then, everybody was gangbang, but I'm pretty sure these dudes ain't taking care of their brothers like the 1%ers do. And that's
Like R.E. Trick, I just lost my brother in Florida. Like, yo, when you in a 1% club, your family, like if you lose a brother, his family don't pay for the funeral. The club does. They pay for everything. You know what I mean? Like when I was game banging, you didn't even get a package. You know what I'm saying? You know how that shit goes. You know, you'd be lucky if one of the homies come up and visit you. You know, I had a couple homies come visit me when I was in Gowanda, but not like that. You know what I mean? But when you in an MC, they gonna make sure you good. You know?
Yo, what are the other clubs or what are other one percenter um, members say about your channel? How do they react to you putting kind of business, not really business out there, obviously, but like, how do they feel about you talking about stuff like that?
Oh, they love it. I get mad love. I mean, I had a time where it was a lot of static because I was talking about other clubs. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And like I have like everybody like that I talk about, I have relationships. Like if I'm talking about the Mongols, I know Mongols. If I'm talking about 81, I know 80. You know, so I gotta see people when I talk about them. So anything I say, I gotta stand on it. But I mean, the perspective that I come from, I don't bash MCs. I look out for my own. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's smooth sailing. Like right now, I had my times where it was rough in the beginning, but now it's smooth sailing. You know, they see where I went with it, so they're behind it. You know, and a lot of other big homies from other big four clubs and all that are big fans of it. So that kind of solidified it for me. Like if they would have been like if some of the big four was against
Mm.
it, it probably would have been my would have been like more on me, like, yo, you gotta leave that shit alone or whatever, but they seen what I was doing and they respected it, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I got good brothers, I do brothers, I'll say that.
I could tell, man. Like I said, at least from an outside perspective, I really appreciate the like kind of the inside peek, the inside view, because there's not a lot of information out there, and as you said in the beginning too, some guys, even that I feel comfortable talking to, they want to make it more mysterious and taboo than it really needs to be. It's I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How did
I
Gatekeepers.
I recently watched your episode about the conversation you had about someone interfering with a pack on his street glide or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But I think I think the way you come about this and what you talk about, it's gonna save somebody's
mm,
life. And I think that's the goal here. Some people might look at this guy and be like, oh, here's another guy talking his gang life. Honestly, if your son is watching this show and he's a biker, he might be saving your son's
mm,
life. I mean, I know we had a conversation. You had a show recently. Some bozo decides that he could afford a fucking Harley and he thinks he could go and pull up to this pack. Like, are you fucking serious? Like, some people need to understand, and I appreciate that you, because you are saving some kid's life, some grown ass idiot's life. A lot of people, I mean, because I try to promote this, so being a non, being part of the 99%. I try to explain to people that we live in your world. This 1% world was created, this bike life was created by a group of men that came back from the war. They had nothing to come home to, and they built something. And they created a culture that is by far, I mean, there's clothing lines around it. I mean, this bozo, Usher, or whatever the fuck, some guy, some rapper,
Chris,
I forget his name. He
Chris.
got a clothing line, and it almost emulates some 1% stuff. And I'll be like, I made comments on it like, yo, y'all need to remove this. Like, you could get a kid killed wearing this
mm,
shit. Like, people
Yeah.
think it's cool, and it's really not. Even I know the show Sons of Anarchy. A lot of people see that and they're like, oh shit, like get out of here. And I'm like, if you really knew the backdrop behind the story, who's behind the story, and the shit that's been told, and there's a lot behind it that you don't know, but some people take that and they think they could like run with it. And then watching your show, I'd be like, thank God this guy got something like this, because he gonna save some kid's life. And especially like you discussed it. If you're on a motorcycle, man, you gotta respect that pack. I'm privy to have, and I know social, I know people that are in the business and their family members, and no matter, I never tell you to be like, yeah, I could do whatever the fuck I want. As much privilege as I have to the family, I try to explain to people there's a pecking
mm,
order. You need to respect that pecking order. You need to understand that you could know everybody. You still have to respect the way the movement works, who to call, when to call, respectfully how to speak, when not to speak. Watching the show, will teach somebody that, because some people don't realize the shit they do. I've been places where I see dudes walk into clubhouse like it's a nightclub, and I'll be like, whoa, this dude's about to get stomped the fuck out because he don't know no better. Same thing riding. You get some of these bozos, they're riding their street bikes, dressed like a squid, and they'll try to ride through a pack. And I'd be like, no, they did not just do this shit, man. Like, real talk. And I think the show will save someone's life. So I always try to tell people, check out the show. The man got to say he's teaching you something because he's teaching you from the inside out. You're not looking from the outside in. You teach it from the inside out. And I appreciate the fact that you actually put stuff out there, and the set and everybody, like you said, the top dogs respect it. I mean, it again, it teaches people how to approach this game. And, just like any other business, whether it be selling drugs or selling cars, you learn how to walk in this life. And even as an avid rider myself, and I'm born in the culture, I try to teach people that respect I mean, in any walk of life, but in this culture, respect goes a long fucking way. And understanding the pecking order and where we stand in this, because we're emulating you guys. You guys ain't trying to emulate us. You know what I mean? Like, we ride and how we ride and wearing a vest and riding in packs and in formation. That all came from the 1%ers who started this shit. And
But
people
you
don't.
want to know the funny thing though? Like, even me as a one, like if I ride dolo a lot because I'm a nomad. So even me, I'm not gonna just say, oh, that's a pack, that's a 99. I'm gonna just run up, blow by. I'm gonna show respect too, because it's all about respect. You're not a man if you can't respect people. I respect everybody until they cross that line. You know what I'm saying? You got some ones that's kind of disrespectful. I know I've seen that. I know you've seen that too. But I don't move like that. I move like a man. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, I show everybody respect. I don't look down if you like in some like RC or whatever, and you don't know a lot. I'm not gonna look down on you. I'm gonna show you the same respect as everybody else. You know what I mean? I
I mean,
take pride in that too.
I try to tell people that vest or no vest, I'm a grown ass man. You disrespect me. The vest don't mean nothing, because if you get your ass beat, that vest ain't really gonna do much for you. I tell people that being a man is a whole different. Like, some people, they put on a vest, and you've seen this yourself, and I mean, I know dudes that I used to bitch slap and sell heroin to. They got a vest now, and they think they could walk around like they shit don't stink. And I tell them to their motherfucking face, don't think it can't happen to you, homie, because I'll slap the shit out of you, and your prez won't say a motherfucking thing. You know what I mean? Because I know he know who I am. I know who he is. He might be related to me. Some of these bozos running around with a vest don't realize that my motherfucking uncle's the founder of their fucking club. So you out here walking around like you fucking Superman. Mind you, I done sold you massive fucking heroin when you was younger, and you out here acting like you tough. So I don't really look at people for what pats they got on. I respect people for the man they is. Like, a lot of times I go up north, and even before I get up north, my brother would call me and be like, "Yo, I heard you was in so and so house doing so and so, and yeah, I was locked up with dude. He was cool. You know what I'm saying? They good peoples. Like, I be getting a 411 from prison sometimes on dudes that I be fucking with, because the phone call had went out already. Like, yo, I saw your bro over here and shit like that. I didn't know that was your bro. So it's a whole, like, I ain't never met you, but I know of you, and I got friends, that associate with you. Obviously, I got an aunt that dates a fucking a thug rider. So and my daughter got an uncle in the thug riders. So it's a small fucking world. You know what I'm saying? So even though I never really met you up close and personal, I got respect for you because I respect what you do. I respect the club.
Probably crossed paths back in the days, though. We probably crossed paths back in the
Probably.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah.
I
Did
mean,
you used to go all those movement parties back in the days?
I remember meeting both
Movement with
most
the
of
clique and everybody had the movement.
yeah,
UB's
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Did you used to go to like clique parties,
Yeah, I know
SPMG?
Phil. I know
Used to
Phil
be
good.
since back then. Yeah, I started in the AC with the clique. Once to MC, then I moved up to CT or whatever, and went thug rider with my cousin and shit. But yeah, I was at all those parties back in the days and shit. So
I actually met the clique. So we was in Coney Island one night when I first started Hustle King, and I seen this Spanish brother. He had a click vest on. I knew they was in the movement, so I knew the movement. Obviously, I got family in the movement, and I said, "What up?" to the guy, and he's like, "Yo, what up?" And I said, what brings you out here, whatever, whatever. He was buying a bike out in Coney Island. We was out at Nathan's, and he was there with another young brother from the clique, and they were looking to go buy a bike. But when the dude pulled up, it was another dude, no club, but it was like 4 or 5 dudes with him with the bike. So I'm like, yo, there's a lot of dudes just roll up with this dude with the bike. We're gonna fucking hang with you because we already know where this might be headed. You know how niggas be moving funny, thinking you came with some bread to come look at a bike. So they came deep, and it was just him and his man. So the Hustle Kings posted close to him, and then he was talking to Duke, whatever. So we made them feel like he didn't come alone. You feel me? Like you came 5 deep, he's 6 deep now. And when I met homeboy, like he invited me to some parties and shit. We went down to the spot where they have over by Flushing over there. And we met, whatever. I met Phil, whatever. It was cool. Out, and that's it. It was love from there on. You know what I mean? Like,
I learned a lot from Phil in the beginning.
sorry.
I learned a lot from Phil in the beginning.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man. Like I never had, like I've been to a couple of parties, treated me with nothing but love, man.
Yeah.
Hey, so what is a ghost? Why do you call yourself a ghost?
Because we be ghosting, baby. Like, a lot of people ask me where the ghosts come from and all that. Like, the Demons Row logo is kind of like the Ghost Rider and shit. So I say, it's a term that kind of references of the Ghost Rider. That's why I say we ghosting, like the Ghost Rider. When you pull off, it's all smoke and fire and shit. So that's where it stems from or whatever. You know how we do in New York? We gotta slang it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We can't just we can't just do it regular. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I noticed that.
Now, I see you got subscriptions up in the thousands, man. Like I remember when we first started watching the show. I mean, a couple of months back, you were a couple of hundred deep. Now you're in the thousands, and your fandom has grown big time. Any TV offers, like anybody coming at you, because you starting to hit the scales there. You're starting to tip the scales there.
They were talking about some Roku shit. It's still in the works. I don't know what's going on with that though. I'm not sure. Like, my big brother's talking with them about it, so I think it's gonna go through. They got some type of investor, and they want to do a network or whatever. So I don't know, but nothing too big. I just been doing the YouTube shit. I think once I hit that 100K, that's when it's gonna start coming through.
Well, you got helping you out. Like, are you kind of running things yourself? Or you got people behind the scenes working with you, or what?
I be doing the shit by myself, bro. It's a lot. I do the graphics, the video, editing, everything, bro. Everything.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Like,
I feel you on that. A man of many talents over here. I can identify with that.
So let me ask you a question.
I'm gonna say some real shit that a lot of people won't keep it real about. But growing up, being broke, not having nothing, and having to learn everything to do for you, you didn't have the money to do it, makes you very powerful. So if you can learn something instead of paying everybody else to do it, now I could just drop whatever I want because I have the power because I learned all these years because I had the money to pay somebody. So now I'm in control. You know what I mean? So hard work pays. You know what I'm saying?
True, and not even just on a financial thing, but honestly, I think sometimes we put our heart and our soul into certain projects and certain passions, and unless you can find somebody else that has that can meet you at that same level, that same passion, then you're just gonna be, have heartache. People are gonna drop the ball. They're not gonna end up there a part of the bargain. Hold up their end of the bargain. So by doing things yourself, it's kind of, I don't know, shallow to say, but you're just taking care of yourself. Like if you want something done right, you just do it yourself. That's kind of why I do the things I do.
And like creatively, there's no bend with me creatively. Like the Demons Row logo had to be a certain way, and you know what I'm saying? Like my scheme has to be black and white, and you know what I mean? So sometimes when you have a team, they want things a certain way. You spend time discussing, arguing over how you want things and all that. I don't got time for that. I'm always forward moving. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Hey, so I got one of our viewers, NCZ31. he had a question for you. Other than Sons of Anarchy or Mayans, what do you think is driving the interest now more into the 1% culture?
You mean into getting people to start wanting to join club on 1% clubs?
Yeah, that other than I guess that's his question. Other than watching those TV shows, what do you think drives people into the culture?
Shit. I'll be honest with you, man. I think that Sons of Anarchy is the cause because everybody started, joining clubs in general, and then they started learning about ones, and then they started graduating. I think that's what it's done for our era, because the old dudes, they had like the Hell's on Wheels or the old school Hell's Angels movies, whatever. So that made them want to become ones. I think our generation of Sons of Anarchy, but I think honestly, right now, Demons Road TV is making a lot of people wanting to cross too, because people always hit me up asking me to join and stuff like that, and it's a lot, bro. It's a lot of people, man.
I'd agree with that too myself, actually, because I mean, even as a kid, I mean, you guys probably know too. Looking up. Well, obviously, like Butter, you grew up around motorcycles. You grew around motorcycle club culture. I didn't. So I was looking at people like the guys on the cartoons and guys in sitcoms and whatnot. The badass, cool, high school guy that had a bike and stuff like that. And you always have this thing in the back of your mind, like, man, I just want to be that cool guy. I don't want to be like nerdy dude and the main character or whatever. I want to be the cool guy with the motorcycle. So that just translates on and on and on. And now I get to be that guy. I get to be the cool guy on the motorcycle now. So
that's real shit,
yeah.
man.
I got a good question for you, Sos. I know a lot of people probably now with the show, they probably, and I don't want to call them groupies. I think that's that's like a really bad term for people, but you got fans that, I mean, I'm a fan, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a groupie, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of what you preach.
You know what I like to say? I like to say the ghosts and the ghostess, because it's like, I look at it like family. I don't like when rappers be like, oh yeah, my fans. Because a fan is a fanatic. So a fanatic is somebody that sleeps outside when you're like about to perform. That's Michael Jackson level shit. So that's why I like to say my goal set. Like, we family, like, you supporting me, I support what you do, like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's the kind of way I put it.
Absolutely.
People that or whatever.
That's how I came to learn about you, because I remember one of my guys who follows you religiously, my boy Brian Green Eyes, he was always tagging me and pound ghosting, and I'm like, yo, what the hell is this? And then I started looking into it, and I was like, oh shit, this is kind of dope. And I didn't know really much about it until I started watching it, and then I was like, in my mind, the first thing I said was like, whoa, this guy's letting out the secrets. Like he's giving out the
Yo, that's
source.
what I thought too. The first episode I saw, I was like, oh snap, I gotta keep watching this.
I'm over here calling the OGs, and I'm like, yo, you watch this stuff? And they're like, yeah, this stuff is pretty cool. And I'm like, oh, you good with it? And they're like, yeah, we fuck with that shit. And I'm like, word? I was like, okay, I guess I can watch this shit with no problem, like, but when I'm calling the OGs, like, I'm talking about dudes that got 50 years in the 1% clubs, and they're like, yeah, man, nah, this guy's good, man. We watch his shit. This shit is cool. I mean, I watched an interview recently of the National of the Mongols, which I follow closely. I follow a lot of their stuff. Their whole, the feds trying to get at them for their trademark. Like, that's some real shady ass shit. There's a lot of that I read about.
The channel that was episode. My first episode was on
and I follow a lot of that stuff, and it be fucked up because, some people look at it as organized crime. That's the first thing you're gonna get. I mean, especially in Jersey, Jersey got they putting people out on the map like they fucking Genghis Khan and Hitler right now.
But Vito, it like this is the sucker shit that they do. All right, you'll have like let's talk real here. Like they try to make it seem like organized crime, but let's say, all right, you got chapters in different states, right? Let's say me and you get money, in Brooklyn or whatever, we hustle or whatever. Some shit happens in Chicago and somebody get their head bust open, and then something happens in California, somebody murks something or whatever, now they calling that a whole one crime organization. Like we all are like, one, like the national is passing out the orders to make this get done everywhere, but that's not really what's happening. You know what I mean?
No,
It's their
absolutely.
way to minimize this.
I try to say, like, let's just say, for instance, the good that happens. No one ever talks about that. Now, I know Uncle Pernell. He's the head of the Crazy Piston Ghetto Coalition. Ain't nobody say how much he's done over the years for Mother Hale House. The thousands and thousands of boxes of Pampers and baby wipes and formula that he brings every year. No one says that shit. No one puts that shit on the fucking news. No one says this guy organizes. And you talking about hundreds and hundreds of people come to this gathering to provide a need for a place that's been around for a very long time. Mother Hill House has been uptown for many, many years. And since I was a kid, I remember going to these parties at the Pistons. And you have to see the truckload of stuff that goes up
That
there.
doesn't fit the narrative though, Butter. You can't
No,
be saying that.
no one, no one says anything about that. No one says, when the unknowns do this charity event out in the Rockaways for the senior citizens, when hundreds of bikers show up with socks, hoodies, gloves, scarves, toiletries. I mean, in abundance. Like we out there moving stuff in. No one says nothing about Toys for Tots.
Autism runs.
There's the autism run that we got coming
breast
up.
cancer awareness
Children's
runs,
cancer
everything.
run,
Yeah.
breast cancer. Like there's so many events that I see hundreds and hundreds of bikers. I mean, over the years, myself organizing events, we must have donated over $50,000 to just one specific charity. We're not talking about the other charities. Even myself, I mean, I've had 1%ers that don't even know me tell me, "Yo, love what you do, man. You putting a good name out there for us as bikers, because even though they want to get in, they feel like even if they get in, no matter what, people are still going to talk bad about them. And that's kind of fucked up."
You know whose fault it is, though? It's our fault. Because and I'm not saying me, because I never been a nosy type motherfucker. Like, I'll see somebody get their head bust, and the whole block is like, their ambulance is there. I walk by, look, it ain't one of the homies. I keep pushing. The problem is, we motherfuckers is too nosy, and they see, oh, the pagans, blah, 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 and then they click on that, and that's what they want to focus on. It's our fault. We don't bring light to the rail. You know what I'm saying? I don't respect that. You know what I'm saying? And I've been saying that for a long time. You got dudes on the internet right now that ain't even in clubs, and all they do is downgrade everything about clubs, and people watch that shit. Stop supporting it, man. Support, like if you throw a video up and you talk about Toys for Tots, yo, let's push that. Let's make that what it is. You know what I mean?
Yo,
we can control the narrative. You know what I'm saying?
I see firsthand, like, I lived in Coney Island for some time, man, and shout outs to Mano, President UV Coney Island. And I've seen him do events where he's bike riding with kids in the neighborhood. He's organizing these young gangs to come to his clubhouse and squash beef. He gave out, I'm talking about, he must have gave out like 1,000 to 2,000 pounds of candy on Halloween because someone was shot in Coney Island 2 years ago, trick-or-treating. A kid was killed because there's some gang war going on, and he felt the need to, like, yo, let me make it a safe place for kids to come and trick-or-treat. This last Halloween, man, had people there, we hanging out, they had a DJ, all this was free, man. They ain't charged nobody. Ain't nobody say, yo, did you see what homeboy did in Coney Island? The man provided a safe environment for the kids. Coney Island, when the kids graduated to school, he was there front and center, leading the parade with the bros and the neighborhood people. He's out there at community board meetings, making sure that stuff for his community is getting done. He's sitting there working with the politicians, putting pressure on the motherfuckers like, yo, we need to get this shit taken care of. Like, that's a leader. That's what a leader's supposed to do. He's not only leading his club, he's leading his community. Like, if something goes on out there, he's involved, man. And that's why I got the utmost respect for the man, because I'm out there. Yeah, I mean, I see.
They're certified.
I deal with them on a regular basis. I do business with them. I have a silk screening business, and I provide a lot of clothing for them and stuff like that. but I see firsthand what he
I
actually
need
does.
shit, bro. Where's my hookup, bro?
Yo, I'm ready for you, man. Listen, I got yo.
Metro, I got a whole bunch of shit I'm trying to do, man. Cause I've been rocking on Teespring, so I'm gonna link with you on that for sure, for sure.
I'm gonna give you a secret, and you can ask Mano how I do this. I could print your shirt without ink. You see your logo there? You got multiple white spots. If you actually print that on a shirt, there's actually like you can feel the paint, right? But there's a form of printing that I can print that whole thing on a shirt, and it's basically just dyeing the color into the shirt. So you won't feel any paint. It'll just be the shirt changing color. So there's a method of printing where I change the color on the shirt to the logo.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get with you on that. I'm definitely.
yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So now I've known, um, now that we're promoting all the positive stuff, what does Dog Riders, your club, what do they do in their community? Maybe you want to talk about that, any event that they got coming up, so that people could understand. Because some people hear the word thug and automatically it's like, oh, we don't want to deal with those people. So I kind of give people a little background.
It stands for today's heroes unifying generation. So, but yeah, every time at Christmas they have the Christmas stuff we're gonna do. Give the toys out to the kids. Thanksgiving, give out some turkeys. The regular stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, actually, we kind of touched on it a second ago with the Teespring account, but I'm curious what in the TV spot. I know you said it's kind of in the works, but like, what's really like coming up on your radar for events or scheduling for Soast to Ghost for Demon Road TV, and what's coming up?
Yeah, like bro, I got so much shit coming. Like, I'm working on comic books. I'm going
Oh
in a whole
snap!
different direction. Yeah, I'm working on comic books, video games, all
Nice.
type of shit, bro. But I have a solo project, Ghost of Valley, that I did music for years. You know what I'm saying? And I have an EP, an 8-track EP that I've had done for a while, and it's about the culture, and it's not trappy. It's East Coast shit. You know what I'm saying? And I have that coming. The videos. I need them to be like mini movies. I want it to be on some Michael Jackson Thriller type shit, but without the scary shit. But I wanted to represent MC culture, and I have some creative ideas. So I don't want to just throw out performance scene videos or whatever and just do the same shit everybody else does. I want that movie feel. I'm gonna include y'all in that too, because y'all pretty close to me. Y'all in New York, and a lot of my shooting I'm gonna do in New York because that's where I'm from. That vibe, you know what I'm saying?
Actually, man,
Hey,
that's right up my
I got a
alley. I was gonna
question.
say I got a bunch of cameras. I got some time. I got a little bit of videography background too. So you need some help with the camera in front of or behind the camera. You holler at me.
Yo, I got King Fox from Black City Riders. He said, "Yo, Sauce, when are you coming up to the track with me?"
To
For
the
what?
track.
You want to know if you want to come up to the track with us to race bikes up at the track.
Oh, at Hunts Point?
Nah. We
What?
go up to we go up to the safety track, up to an actual motorcycle course. So one of our viewers is asking, if you into street riding.
Nah, I've seen his show.
Street
One of
ride?
his shows where he
I'm
talked
a
about this.
one. I'm a old nigga. I be doing 10, bro.
uh,
I
you
be
know,
clean and mean, bro. All that trick shit, all that ain't me, yo. But
I got
fuck.
another question. This is a question for myself. So we understand how it works in the West Coast, and it's different than it is in the East Coast. Um, how do you feel that someday it could all coincide?
Hmm, that's good.
I I be like, I'm in contact because of the show, you know what I mean, and because of personal relationships. I'm in contact with a lot of the big homies in different areas, and it's like that's my goal is to one day where it's like, yo, this is your style, this is our style, but we all rock with each other and it's just respect. Like that's my final goal with this culture. But what what I get from some of the big homies is like, yo, it's people that all right, this I'm gonna tell you verbatim what a big homie told me, and he said there's people that their grandfather got killed by op or their father got killed by op and now they're in the club. So it's hard to tell somebody whose father, you know what I'm saying? So That's the struggle right there. You know what I'm saying? I think at some point though, it's like, yo, when are we gonna be like, yo, all that shit is in the past. Let's just leave it where it is. I'm hoping we get there. Like I feel like we can get there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people feel like, nah, we can never get there. But if the big homies is like, I don't know, maybe I feel like like as time goes by, some of those big homies ain't around no more. Some of the beefs die down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I don't
I
know.
mean,
But
I believe, I would hope in my lifetime that I see some sort of form of unity in a way that, because there's millions of people who are bikers, and if we had a common goal together, I mean, we could literally overthrow the fucking government. You know what I mean? Like, there's enough of us out there to make a move. I mean, I remember going down to Washington D.C. and seeing Rolling Thunder in the 100,000s. That's a lot of people going down to D.C. And that's just those guys. We're not talking about the other hundreds of 1% clubs that are out there making massive moves. I wish I could live in a world where everybody just got along in harmony because we all have the same passion, and I think we all, we all have the same background. Like, even though I'm a 99%, you're a 1%. I mean, like I listen to Homeboy, and much respect to the national treasure, the Mongols. I mean, I've heard this interview with him, bro. He's an everyday human being. He's a family man. They got a business. They promote unity and helping one another. Like, that should be life. That's what life should be about. I mean, that's biblical. That's just outside of the bike world. That's biblical, man. Be your brother's keeper. Help another brother. Like, I got a lot of brothers in Hustle Kings that we good. We secured our bag. You feel me? But we try to help the next brother secure. Like, we got my right hand man, Big Lou. When he hears these young guys working for the city, the first thing he's on is like, yo, put into your 401k. Make sure you put this much into your pension.
Preach.
Take out this much. Stop doing this. Don't go buying frivolous shit. This dude is living the life. He's got multiple homes. He's getting great money on his pension, and he tries to pass that knowledge on to the younger brothers that are out there doing frivolous shit with their money. You know what I mean? Like, you having kids right now. So this bottle popping, Jordan sneaker buying, that shit, like, invest your money. And this is what he teaches the younger riders. And I see that same in any club. I see a lot of these OGs, they're trying to teach the younger guys what they shouldn't be doing and not make the mistakes they made. I blew a lot of money days, but if I could teach someone,
man, you still be
to
blowing a
grow
lot of money. What are you talking about?
and help, man, you don't got a 15-year-old daughter, man.
Real talk, why it's like that though, right? It's because all of the rappers and ball players and all the famous people have sold the hood out. That's the truth. They, like, in New York, like moving out to CT, you see the 16, 17-year-olds, they're wearing regular shit. They're not wearing Jordans and all that shit. Maybe they have it or whatever, but they're more focused. They get their car at 16, 17, worry about school, getting their money or whatever. In New York, motherfuckers will have a car on and be on the bus with phones that are like 500 that they could have got a hoopty with. You know what I mean? Like, it's the mentality, and it's the rappers, the ball players, all that pushing that money, spend money on bullshit lifestyle. That shit is fake, bro. That shit is out.
Distraction,
They need to be investing that money. You know what I'm saying? They misleading the youth, and that's what's going on right now.
Yep.
And a lot of people don't realize, like, it's funny because you got a clothing line, I got a clothing line, and I'd rather wear my own shit anyway. I make it with pride. It comes from a union shop where real Americans are making this shit. A lot of these fucking punk ass kids don't even realize that 99% of the shit they wear, motherfuckers don't give a fuck about
China.
you. They don't support your inner cities. They don't support you. They don't support your inner cities. They don't do nothing for your community. I mean, you remember growing up when Tommy Hilfiger was, and Timberland was like, we don't want these urban kids wearing our shit. They said that shit on fucking Oprah, live on TV. They was like, yo, we don't want inner city kids wearing our shit. It gives our shit a bad reputation. And when you look at that, you be like, damn, and we support these motherfuckers? Now,
yeah, like, I see people in New York with the polo. It's just a little horse, and the shit look whack to me. I'd rather wear your shit. That shit look way fresher than some little fucking pony with the collar. That
Yeah,
shit
that
ain't,
shit's
yo,
like
bro.
$200
That's
too.
what it is.
Fuck that.
But
Yeah,
it's like
is,
it's like
bro.
it's like the PlayStation, right? Everybody want to be the first person to get a PlayStation. The PlayStation retails for $49.99. I've seen people pay up to $1,000, $1,200 for a PlayStation. Mind you, I invested $5,000 in the Sony PlayStation stock, which was 60 something dollars, and now it's almost $90. Why? Because some bonehead want to pay $1,000. So whatever you think you paid for your PlayStation, I tripled my money.
But nobody will teach them that. They will never hear
This is
that.
true.
That's the problem. That's
And it's
real shit, bro. That's
and
why
it,
it's time for us to rise and take those positions. And that's why they gatekeep people like us, because we will make change. We will put other people on, and that's what they keep us from. They put the people on that sell out the bread and sell out their communities. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah,
like
absolutely right.
all these, like, think about it. Like, think about just any rapper that's jumping. Why he got to be pushing polo and all that? All right, cool, you do that. But every other day, why can't you push some shit that you got, or Demon's Row or something? Why you can't push that out there so you could put money back in the hood and we could give jobs, you know what I'm saying, to other people in the hood? But they don't do that. They push Gucci, all that whack shit. That shit look whack to me, bro. I don't think that shit is dope. I never thought it was dope. You know what I mean? But I've
I
always thought that,
I
you know.
now that you say that, Rock Boy Choppers, you have any relationships with Meatloaf and what
I
he's
went
trying to
to
build as an entrepreneur?
I went to Meatloaf's event. Was it last year?
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah,
got
that's right.
pictures.
That's what I saw you at the park. Yeah, yeah, you was at the
Yeah,
park.
yeah. So Big Cross. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because I remember
So,
PJ, my
I
boy
like
PJ
having fun
mentioned
that
me.
day. I have fun that day. I haven't talked to him in a while though, but I have
Uh,
fun that day. That was
yeah, me and Meatloaf go way back. I remember when I first met Meatloaf. I used to own a cell phone store, and he used to come to my shop.
Cell
He was
phone store.
good friends with my partner, and he had a Suburban, one of the first Suburbans, the box ones,
yeah.
huge ass 22-inch rim system and all that shit. And I was like, yo, that's a dope car. I was driving a Hoopty at the time, and Meat was over a fly guy since I met him. And I said to him, yo, you gotta let me your truck, man. I want to stunt one. Handed me the keys, and he's like, yo, where's your car? Give me your car keys. And I'm like, you for real? I was like, I don't got no nice car, man. He was like, just give me the fucking keys. And I pointed at this busted ass hoopty I had outside. He took my keys and he's like, I'll see you next week, man. I was like, you for real? He's like, that's just a whip, man. You can have it. And ever since then, man, I've been friends with Loaf, man. And he's been a blessing. He's a great brother. I see he does a lot for his community and shit, you know. And that's the type of shit we gotta support. Like, even though he's building his own thing, like we gotta make it like Black Wall Street. You know, at one time, Black Wall Street, they we used to turn our dollar over 100 times in Black Wall Street. That means your business bought from my business, I bought from your business, or someone related to you, and the money stood in house. And a lot of people don't understand that terminology of building the money and circulating the same money, but the Jews do that. That's why they're so powerful. They rent cars from each other. They got their own car rental company. They got their own TLC. They got their own public transportation. They got their own housing situation. They got their own construction. They fuck with each other, and they only fuck with each other. And the shit that they do, and as grimy as the shit is, they continue keeping the money within their Hasidic community. That's why they can take over. That's why you ever notice you go to a housing complex, there ain't no fucking Puerto Ricans in that Jewish housing complex, and there's no law stating that they have to put somebody in there because they got that shit rigged. They got that shit locked down for their own people. And no disrespect to the Hasidics, you know, that's great that they stick together as a community.
Correctly. Like, that's how we need to move. I
And
agree with you.
the problem is that ego takes over, man. Like, I tell people, I don't really have to do a lot of the charity work I do and get together with people. But you know what? I believe that God has blessed me in so many different ways and so many times that I'm about to give up, and He kicks down a new door for me. So I feel like I need to take that help the next brother, because you could be helping someone who's gonna change the world and not realize it. And you want to be a part of that.
What you said, though, you just said God. That's the key. God is getting pushed out of society. Me and you still hold faith, so we think like that. Like, yo, let's get money together, let's eat. And I've always thought that. Like, I know people that won't get something from me, but they'll wear somebody else's shit. Like, I've told people before, like, why you not wearing Demons Row? You wearing all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? But people that I don't know fuck with it all the time. You know what I'm
Yo,
saying?
I'll give you a little secret. A lot of let's say Billionaires Boy Club, right? A lot of people wear Billionaires Boy Club, and half of these motherfuckers, they still living in their mother's basement. A lot of the shirts that they print on, I have access to. I could print the same on the same exact fabric, just a different, and they be like, nah, I ain't wearing that shit. Nigga, you wearing the same next level Vela canvas, Pepperidge cotton shirt that I buy for fucking pennies on a dollar. But you just spent 120. Yo, when Kanye West made that sweater, The Life of Pablo, he did that shit on a $7 Gildan sweater. He bought it wholesale for $7. It cost him $5 to print that Life of Pablo shit on it, and he sold the sweater for $125. So he made 1,000% profit on his shit because it was his fucking name.
It's sad, bro. It's sad. That's the only thing you can say. Like, we've been conditioned to not hold each other down too, man. I don't know. That's a deeper story why we don't hold each other down. But I think it's like, once again, I go back to the rappers and the ball players. They not supporting. That's who kids grow up and look up to. So they not, you know what I'm saying? They grow up with that mentality, you know.
How many times you hear these rappers say they're saying this because they're getting paid for it? They literally tell you, yeah, we're gonna say this in our song because they're paying me to do it. And it's like they're giving you a hint.
You know what my problem is though? All right, so you get an endorsement. That's what's up. Rep that shit, get your money, but then put everybody else on too. You're not wearing, like, if you're LeBron, you don't have to wear Nike every fucking day or whatever his deal is. He could be wearing somebody from his town, and they'll be jumping the next day, but they purposely don't do it. You know what I'm saying?
And that's a fact, King. You absolutely right.
I just want to take a moment, since you're talking about it. Some of you people know, the people at home probably know that I interact with outside the show, off the internet. But a couple weeks ago, I finally went legit with CRMP Media, and I gotta tell you, man, I'm actually super blessed. I'm super happy that people have come forward right from day one. And actually, it's been kind of overwhelming. I've been real busy after my 9 to 5, just doing my own business after work, because people have just been coming forward. They have projects for me. They got money for me. They got ideas for me. They got all this stuff. I've been real happy about people supporting me, and yeah, I definitely plan on like keeping it not so much like in my community here in Brooklyn, but all these people that are helping me out is coming back to you. I promise you that. So everybody at home that's already like got me to make some stuff for you or give me some ideas, thank you. Appreciate that shit.
What is it you do?
What's that?
What is it that you do with the media company? Because you said what it was, but you didn't say what you do though.
So CRMP Media is the name that I've always given to like my video productions or my graphic art or really anything that I do on the side for a hustle. But as of 3 weeks ago, actually, I finally went legit, you know, registered the name, put my certificates out there, got recognized by the federal government, you know, doing all like the legalese, the legal background, making everything legit. And like I said, right off the bat, shout out to Certified Knee Draggers, because Carlos and his organization, amazing track day organization. Carlos is cool as hell, and he's already come to me and given me my first big deal, and you know, 50 decals, multicolors, and I got a big ass vinyl cutter back here, so I'm making some vinyl stickers for him. It's something simple, it's something that I like to do, but he didn't waste any time. It was literally like 24 hours later, he was already hitting me up, being like, "Yo, man, I got you. Let me get some work done." So.
And even on this side, he know I got a printing business, and he got a connection out of the country, and he still reached out and was like, "Yo, I want to give you some business. I want to support the cause. You support me." He actually was like, "Yo, let's do something together. I'm printing some shirts, whatever." So even though he got his connection, he know that it might cost a little bit more, but he's doing something with the big homie that support him.
Yeah.
So he's done the same with me as well, and I respect that. Meatloaf have done the same. Meatloaf has his places where he does his printing and stuff like that. But I've done some work for him, and it's cool though. You know what I mean? I know you don't have to do everything with me, but the whole thing is that you throwing a little bread into my pot, which is cool. I respect that. When a man that didn't have to do that, he gonna take a piece of his pie and say, let me throw a little bit over here. You know what I mean? To support my friend, and that's real talk right there. And that's how we gotta move. If I gotta throw a little your way, a little his way, it's all good. But the problem is that some people they maximize their profit so much that if they could get it for 50 cents, I get it. If they get it for 50 cents going to the man overseas, they're gonna get it for 50 cents rather than paying $5 here in New York City. You know what I mean? But I hear horror stories too. I'd be like, yo, I know dudes that got events and they're like, yo, I needed this stuff by this day, and it came 2 weeks later, it wasn't worth it. And then I get horror stories that the print wasn't looking great. So at least when you buy America and you do shit here in America, like if you came down to the shop, so be like, yo, brother, let me see what you got. How is my shit gonna look? How is it gonna feel? You can't get that in Pakistan. You can't fly to Pakistan and be like, well, I want to see how it looks, how it feels. And you gonna get what he sends you. And a lot of times people forget that. Like, you want to interact with the person handling your merch, because your merch is what sells you. And I got dudes, man, that they go overseas because they save a few dollars, but they come back. They're like, man, this shit didn't come out the way I expected it. It's not as good. And I try to work with them, and I try to tell them it's a little different because you got homie over there working for 10 cents an hour, and they probably don't pay no fucking electric bill like I do.
Yo, but honestly, that's why Trump is the way he is, because they got people working in sweatshops. That's why they can sell it for so cheap. You know what I'm saying? They're killing our country. But guess what? People get mad at Trump, but somebody like Trump, he cuts that line off, and then people like you get that bread. You know what I'm saying? But people
look
don't.
At Ford. He did that shit with Ford. Remember when he first became president, he cut a lot of that shit with Ford. Yo, y'all not gonna get these tax breaks and shit like that if you making parts in Mexico. And all that work came back to America. But we're gonna leave the politics out of this, because me and you could go on for days. We on the same level.
Actually, I was gonna kind of bring it back to what we kicked off talking about as far as motorcycle clubs is concerned. Like, we're talking about keeping it in the family, keeping it in the community, keep it in the culture. Like, I think you guys having your brothers around you at all times, that's an amazing way to keep it in your community right there. One hand feeds the other, one hand washes the other. You got people already that are subscribed to, like, just be there and be your first customers and be your suppliers and all that stuff. So anybody at home that's, like I said, thinking about like jumping into that community, that culture, that's one great benefit to this life that these guys are living, for sure.
And I tell you, man, I tell you, even in this motorcycle culture, I print for a lot of clubs. I've printed for clubs that I ain't even met half the team yet. I might have bumped into some prez, or he shook my hand at an event, and that man has reached out to me, either supported my event by donating money, coming to my event, even sponsor, like shout out to Souls of the Dead, man. I met one of their members at the bike show, and shout out to Bones and my man T and all those guys, Scully. I met them one time, and the bond was great, man. And there's days where I post shit, and I'll get an DM like, "Yo, homie, how much can I send you? How much do you need for this, or how much?" You know what I mean? These are dudes that just show support on the strength of how I'm a lot, because, like I said, I've dealt with people, even 1%ers that don't know me personally, but know of me, and they're like, "Yo, homie, we like the way you move. In the circle we're in, your name comes up in a good way." That's a good feeling to have, because considering it's a small world and they deal with each other, the fact that there's a little love for the outside guy, that shit means a lot, man. That means a lot to me, and I feel like if we could all move like that, no matter how gangster you are, how tough you guys are, those guys are helping other brothers succeed because they got the power to do it.
That's a fact, bro. That's a fact. I respect what you do, brother.
Thank you.
That's why I'm gonna support my own. You know what I'm saying? That's
at first,
question. You know what I'm saying?
I was kind of like, yo, is this dude even gonna give me the time of day? I was like, I don't even know this dude. I was like, do I have to pull like yo, this is my boy. He's cool. You know what I mean? Like, I even told my daughter, I said, yo, well, I'm gonna have to get your uncle's name. Maybe your uncle could hook me up with so. And I reached out to you straight up. I was like, yo, man, love what you do. And you was straight. I fucks with it. Yeah, like sometimes people
If it
think that
wasn't
they're
live,
afraid to approach.
it would have been done. If it wasn't that it was live, it would have been done already. You know
No,
what I'm
no,
saying? Like
for
I
sure.
had to just shoot it. Yeah.
No, I know. And then I know at the time we decided to do it, you lost a brother. And you was moving around state to state. We want to send our condolences always.
Thank
On
you, bro.
anybody who passes. That was a real tough loss. I know people down in Florida who know of him and knew of him, and had nothing but good things to say about him. Unfortunately, that was a terrible accident,
Yo,
man.
while you mention it too, I just want to say, shout out to our boy Justin. Justin is the one for us, kind of working behind the scenes lately to like call guests and get things scheduled, get things set up. But last week, Justin's ass had some kind of surgery. I forgot exactly what kind of surgery he got. So I don't know what state he was in when he called you, Sos. But every time I've talked to him on the phone, like in the past week, he's been like out of it. So so thank you for being here, and thank you, Justin, for somehow managing to get Sos on the show tonight. I appreciate that, brother.
Yo, you know what's important? That might be a trick to help too. Make sure that when he links with somebody, tell him, "Yo, I'm so and so. Lock my name and whatever." Because sometimes you be so busy and then you just getting a random number. You like, "Yo, who's this?" Like, oh, all right. And then Hustle can, all right. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like you don't, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
He's probably
I
watching
try to
right
do
now.
that.
Actually, I don't know if he's
Yeah, make sure they lock you in, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
right on, right on.
You know what's funny? I'm a funny character because I got dudes that's in channels that are like competing in big channels, and they've asked me to come on, and I won't do it. You know what I mean? I support my own. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I am. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we
I know,
appreciate you,
and
man.
I
Want
appreciate.
to do the alley oop was a small channel. You know what I'm saying? So now when I'm hot, nah, nope.
Now,
You know what I'm
the
saying?
good thing I respect that I noticed, and we didn't really touch on this, but a lot of people have this stigma like, oh, 1%ers don't they don't respect women and that. And the one thing I like is that you do the ghost that, the ghost and the ghost that. You show a lot of love to these female bikers out there, and it's dope because through your channel and you're shouting out these ghost stats, and actually you give out. I see you post the cards out. That's dope.
Yeah.
A lot of female bikers out there doing it heavy, bro, heavy,
I
and the
want to
way
get
you show them
East
respect.
Coast because I got too many. It be a Cali show, a straight up Cali show. Like I got to get more East Coast go sets on there. If you guys
Oh,
got suggestions, then I'll definitely I got
nah, they
as a go
officially.
course too.
So the ghost stats really have to ride. They have to ride a cruiser. Am I
Yeah,
correct?
see that's the thing. Nah, they don't have to ride a cruiser, but my thing is, I feel like I always try to do something different than what everybody else does. I feel like MC culture has a stigma of like a girl in a bikini. Well, at least 1%ers have the stigma of a girl in a bikini washing a bike or whatever, or a girl that's a model sitting on somebody else's bike. So I wanted to do it where the girl actually owns her bike, or or if she got hubby and they both use the bike, but she actually ride. You know what I'm saying? I try to do that, but I kind of want to expand too because this culture is big. We got SCs too. You know what I'm saying? So I want to show love to social clubs. There's a lot of good women in our
So,
culture, even AC. So I gotta figure out how I can mix that in.
so
But the ghost that could be any female that is about this culture. You know what I'm
Oh, we
saying?
got
I
some
got,
badass
I got
ladies over
I
here.
got I got a good ghost stat for you. You might know her personally. DP
Oh,
Tabitha, Tabitha,
yeah.
Black Pearls.
Black curls? I think I know who you're talking about. She got the extra curls. I think I know who you're talking about.
She does the
Who?
motorcycle tone. She used to do the motorcycle tone in Jersey.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I think.
She ride hard, and she's little. She's like 4'11",
Dang.
and
Yeah,
she baggers. Like I've watched her tow
she ride
road crew.
back.
Yeah, she got a badass Harley, man. She ride
That's
hardcore,
what's
man.
up.
She
That's
ride
what's up.
hardcore. I'm gonna tag you on her. You're gonna
Yeah,
know her because I mean we'll talk about it outside of the show, but you're gonna
yeah.
know who she is. You're gonna say
That's
what?
yo, listen. that right there is my way of showing love to everybody in the culture. Like that's what that's for, you know. So we definitely get her on. We get you on, like
Hello.
definitely, man.
Need the charger.
See,
I actually want to do more stuff where it's more interactive and it's people, you know, talking about their lifestyle and we breaking that down too. You know what I'm saying?
dude,
I want to do a lot more.
your live show gets me so hyped though. Like it's right from the get go. As soon as you come on the screen, you're like, "Yo, shout out to so and so. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for pounding that subscribe button. Appreciate you over there. Yo, man, I see you." Like you just like all over the place immediately.
Yeah.
I love that smell. I love it. I love it.
Nah,
Interactive.
the energy on the intro is what drives you right in. That whole straight, pound, go tell me where you've been. Like it is dope how you do that, and not that I want to copy it because I really never want to copy, but I appreciate how you draw the audience in. Because if when you first click on the show, you see this guy, you're like, who the fuck? But once you start with your whole intro, bam, ghost. It just
It's
like, whoa,
attention.
what is this
Yeah,
guy
attention
talking about?
grabbing.
And it
Yeah.
pulls you right in, and I love that. I love that.
You know what I wanted to do with it? See, you from the hood, so you know I wanted to like smack DVD it. You know what I'm saying? Like take the MC
Yeah.
DVD it. You know what I'm saying? That's why the cover is like because you from the hood. I wonder other people that are not thumbnails even are like mixtape cover style. You know what I mean?
I
That's
understand.
like I try to do. You know, you did you peep that? Like being from New York,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of know that already, right? But that's not, they probably don't, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I wanted to give it a Smack DVD, Cocaine City kind of feel, you know what I mean?
Yo, so my pro lit hard. That's my dude out in
Yeah, fuck with Mike.
Oklahoma. Yeah, so
He
he
still ain't
he.
never sent me a lid, cheap ass nigga.
Oh shit! Yo, Mike, you heard
Expensive.
that?
Shots
I'm gonna call
fired.
him up.
Shots fired.
I got you, Ghost. I got you,
Expensive.
Ghost. I'm gonna call him.
Nah,
Yo,
he's a good dude, bro. He's a good dude.
he got a
Definitely.
project.
That
He got a
dude,
project.
yo, Mike showed me love when I had like, fucking like 200 subs, yo.
Mm.
No lie. From the beginning, he rocked with me.
He's been
Yo,
on our
Real
show
talk.
before, actually. He came on our show.
the,
Yeah, he's
the
a good dude.
the crazy thing is, the first time I reached out to him, I was intimidated because I was like, yo, this dude is a big dude and he getting all these people on the shit. Like, he got mad followers. And I was like, yo, homie, I'm doing this event. And would you mind donating the lid? And he called me right away. He was like, yo, what you need, man? And I mean, he was like, whatever you need. And I tell you, since the day I've been fucking with him, if I call him and tell him, yo, I need a lid for a raffle, I can't tell you how many lids this dude done send me.
Yo,
I
where
just,
is my lid, Mike? Yo, I ride with this bandana, Mike. What's up, bro?
don't feel bad. Yo, I got my man CJ from Thunder Guards. He's been breathing down my head because they made his lid and they lost it. Somehow I got lost in the mail and he's
No.
still waiting on a lid. So, yo, shout out to my man CJ Thunder Guards. Nothing but
Shit's
love, man.
fire too. Yo, I don't even wear a lid, bro. I don't own a lid. Like I don't gotta wear them in CT. I don't own a lid, but Mike shit is different.
Mm.
That
Dude,
shit is different.
I got one for the sports bike. I got multiple colors. I got a Cowie lid that he customized for me. I got 2 custom Hustle King lids. He actually I just spoke to him today because he said, I had sent him a message, yo, I'm doing this autism run. He's like, just tell me what you need, homie. And I got you. I said, this year, instead of just sending the lid, I want to get the raffle going where the customer can customize his own lid when
That's
he
fine.
wins. So Mike was like, whatever you want to do. And then I had told him that my daughter wanted a lid. He's like, man, tell my little niece to call me. I'm gonna make sure she get a dope lid. I was like, baby, you gonna wait 3 or 4 months because Mike is slow, but he got you. So order now so you can get it for next season. Now, but
Yeah,
shout out.
shit.
But
Yo,
I was actually gonna tell you that he's actually coming out with a crazy event. I was gonna throw it at you anyway. Now that we're on the show and we could promote it a little bit, he's looking to do some biker brawl, and his objective is to get clubs that actually fuck around with each other and not, we're not enemies and shit like that. We was talking about who can and who cannot be together. He wants to do like a 3 minute, a 2 minute, 3 minute, 3 rounds of boxing for 2 minutes, 3 rounds for the charity of your choice. So
Hmm.
basically, like we'll present to the club and say, hey, we let's say we got Sosta Ghost versus Green Eyes Some Hustle Kings, and y'all will box three rounds for charity, and the winner get a check written out to their charity. There'll be a smaller check for the the opponent, whatever. But that's something he's got in the works, man. So I don't know if you guys are interested. I'm gonna send
I'm
you.
gonna tell you right now, do not put Big John from Combat Legends MC in there. I'm telling you right now. John from Combat Legends MC. He trains Amanda Serrano. That dude's gonna wind up killing somebody. Bro. He's savage.
So,
you know she's a chick right now. So get away from that. You hear that name, Combat Legends MC? Stay away from that.
yeah. I mean, he's looking for some charity event. So
that's a great idea, bro.
yeah, he's looking to show that the culture can get together for a good cause. There's a lot of back and forth that it might not work because it might spark an event, it might spark a fight or whatever. But I think if everything is laid out the way it's supposed to be laid out legally, it's not like a backyard event. It's like it's going to be involved with a national, with a state commission, legal gloves, referee, all that, national televised type shit. And like I said, the money's going to be done for charity. So I'm going to send you the press package so that you can see it, and then if you want to pass it along to the bros up at Mother.
I got a bro, my brother Everlast. He trains Zab Judah and all that, and we could talk. Like he trained people, all that. He nasty with it. Like yeah, definitely.
So Josh,
my club. He's one of my brothers in my club, and my cousin Sonny thinks he's a champion and shit. So you know my cousin Sonny, right? Sonny Dayton.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah. Sonny do the punching game, and he always win wherever we go. So we gonna get him in the ring. Those boxing games where you hit it. You know what I'm talking about? Video game shit. Yeah, he always win that shit everywhere we go. He'll love that shit.
That's what we're looking for. We're looking for people who want to do it and know that there won't be no beef behind it. I mean, I got a lot of like good, positive and negative. There's always a little bit of both. But I think for the culture, it would be cool to see that these people that the people who see all these bikers are not killing each other. They're actually doing something for charity. Would bring a positive spin to a lot of the shit that goes on.
Yeah.
What were you about to say? What
you said?
You think it's about? You think it's about that time to start winding down? All right.
Yes,
all right.
sir.
So at this point, then, as Butter just alluded to, we're gonna start winding down the show. But before we get out of here, we're gonna go kind of around the room real quick and have some closing comments, some last minute shout outs, and whatever's going on. So before we even let you do that, I just want to say, man, thanks again for joining us. I know you're a busy man. You probably put off even eating dinner tonight just so you can be with us. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But please shout out to the people at home. Let your people know what's going on with you and how we get in touch with you.
Well, I just dropped the episode today. I'm dropping another episode tomorrow. Demons Row TV on YouTube. Follow me on Parler. Demons. Everything is Demons Row on any platform. So you can follow me on any platform. It's easy to find. And yeah, man, just big shoutings. You know what I mean? Shout to everybody, man. It's all love.
Thanks, man. What you got, Butter?
Well, again, for those that watch the show that are 99%ers and want to know this bike life, follow Demons Row, man. I mean, I spend a lot of time when I have downtime at work. Instead of calling my family and shit like that, I'm watching the show. I'm watching reruns. So I'm rewatching an episode and shit, and and I try to make sense so that when I explain it to the dum-dums that I know, and I be like, yo, this is the way it's supposed to be. Read this, listen to this, watch this guy. Because sometimes you could talk to your own brother and not realize it might not come across the way you want it to come across. So if I refer it back to the show, they might get it a little better. Sometimes you want to
know the funny thing? I got big fours. I'm not gonna name names, but like 3 out of the 4 big fours say that they give it to their prospects, so they don't ask a lot of questions. They just show them the show, they learn from it, and then they teach them the inside shit. You know what I mean?
I do it. I do it to my guys too. I always send the link in the group chat. I'm like, yo, this was a positive because we not 1%ers, but we spend a lot of time in different 1% houses. So I want them to understand what not to do when they're riding alone. Especially that episode, man. That shit gonna save a lot of lives. Cause some bonehead kid, like you said, these kids got money, man. They can afford a street glide at 17, 18 years old. But they're gonna go do something stupid that gonna put them in a bad position. So I think this is a really, really good show for people to watch, man. It's a blessing, man. You know what? It gives people a good perspective, and I like the way you approach it.
Definitely.
You try not to like, you're not offending anybody. You're giving it straight. You keep the names where they're supposed to be. I know sometimes it could be funny waters if you mention certain people, but I think when people see you as a positive to the community, I don't think is because I know sometimes I try not to mention names. Not that I'm afraid of anything or not like that. I just don't want to. So I like I said, I respect the pecking order, and I know I'm at the bottom of the pecking order because we live in this culture. We are part of it. We're trying to be a part of it in a way that stays positive. So I think the show works for people like myself and people who might not want to go that route or can't because of career circumstances. So it's understandable, especially for those type of people that can't do it because of their careers but they can still respect it. I know a lot of dudes in law enforcement that respect the culture 1,000%.
And that's why I don't know if you realize, like, on my show, I don't smash on LEs. Nah, I'm different, bro. Like, I'm not putting down the culture. Like, I know they're separate, they do their own thing, but I'm not here to be like, yo, F the police and all that. I don't be on that type of time. Like, I'm here to big up the culture, not bring it down. And like, there's a lot of people, yo, that just be praying for somebody to get shot so they can name names and mention it. I never do that shit, bro. I never do the names. And that's why I don't give respect to some of the other channels that want, because they don't know it, but they've named names of people that I know that have been in altercations in one clubs. You know what I'm saying? 1% clubs that may have got killed or got shot or got up in something, and then naming their names, people I know, Fed cases, all that. I'm looking at them like, yo, bro, why is you saying people's names and all that? You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, that's why I fuck with you, bro.
I appreciate you, man, and thank you for being on the show. It was a pleasure and honor to interview you. Definitely, I hope we get to kick it again. And listen, if you got something going on, please invite us, man. We'll come out, we'll support. Yes. I just DM'd you the pictures so that you could see who I was talking about. On IG? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we'll get together, definitely. To all my sponsors, Mike's Prolid, Cotton Hustle, Prospect Power Sports, Mike's Prolid. Go out and buy your Demon Rose shirt, man. Go out there, support the brother. It's a blessing that.
Did you DM Demon's Row or the
Sosa Ghost?
Oh, okay. I'm on my Demon's Row so much, like.
Hey, Sos, do me a favor too, and after we close out the show, stick around for a couple minutes so we can just shoot the shit for a couple minutes. I know, Butter, you probably got something you got to go do too, but both of y'all stick around for at least a couple minutes after we get out of here.
Yeah, we got you.
All right. So with that, people at home, thank you for joining in. I really appreciate it. We both do. We all do. It's always appreciated also when you subscribe, hit the like button, come back, check out the channel. We do this every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live, Beyond the Apex. Check us out. And as I always say, leave this world better than you found it. Peace. All right.
Heaven sent you to me. I'm just hoping I don't read